I'm going to keep this one brief because I've already recorded this a few times with issues many times. But regardless of that fact, the latest episode of Spy Classroom, even though it was a final episode, yet again hits another good one out of the park. The fact of the matter is, this one is crazy enough about Forgetterer, Annette, and I honestly thought, I didn't even think we would actually get one about her, seeing as how we pretty much at the end of the mission episodes got a lot of information about Annette, but they wanted to make sure that we specialize in each of the girls, regardless of what happens on the mission. And this time, we specialize on someone that might not all be there. One thing about Annette, this girl will make a better assassin than probably a spy, because she's emotionally detached about things. Like, she can, have fun and play around with her friends and stuff. But then when it comes to her job, she basically doesn't have the emotional standards of what we classify as normal. The whole point of the episode was the fact that they had to infiltrate this cafe because in the past it was used as a means of doing some underhanded stuff, and so they infiltrated to check and see if it's on the level, and come to find out there was still more underhanded stuff happening. Cool. It was all said and done, taken care of. Annette prospered in this job. She was the best server, the best waitress, whatever you want to classify. She was absolutely, hands down, amazing at the job, which, to the surprise of most of her teammates, they didn't think that she would actually be able to pull this off because of her attitude being so lackadaisical, but she did amazingly. Except for the fact that regardless of how she did, there were still some problem customers, i.e. this guy. Now, granted, there were apparently more problem customers, but they didn't really show it to us in this anime. They really fixated on this guy being a problem customer. So, you think it's like, oh, regardless of how much of a problem they were, Annette still did it with a smile. This guy literally spilled his drink on purpose in her face because his glass was dirty, which is not her fault that the glass would be dirty. That would be the problem with the people in the back. She got the full frontal issue of his wrath from it. Cool. She still acted like a perfect human being. Until later. Apparently, she put trackers on all of her problem customers so that she can deal with them later. And it just so happened that this guy, who she put a tracker on that she was dealing with, ended up being an undercover spy that was behind the whole drug cartel fiasco in the actual restaurant. And even though she targeted him, she didn't care whether he was the one behind everything. She just kind of dealt with him. And the way she dealt with him was crazy. Of course, if you watch the episode, the glass that it's flickering, the light is flickering above his head, and then the glass just explodes and shatters and cuts up his face. He can't see. He has glass in his face all over. He's cut up. And then she snuck behind him and was going to finish him off, but Claus came in and stopped her. And then Claus is like, do you realize killing your problem customers is not part of being a waitress job? She kind of looks at Claus like, oh, okay, thank you for telling me. Hello? Do you not realize how many people, I mean, if you're watching this video and you've done any amount of customer service at all, you wish you could do something in retaliation to all those problem people, but you can't. You have to act like you have a smile on their face. You can't just do anything. And she was getting revenge, but she had to be stopped. And it's a good thing that he ended up being a spy as well, so they can deal with him. But regardless, the biggest issue is her attitude towards everything. The fact is, you're not supposed to do that at all. But it wasn't even like she snuck out. She just kind of left the school to go deal with her own problem. And this guy was like, oh, so you come to face me? She pulls out an umbrella. He's like, oh, you're gonna beat me with the umbrella? She just kind of stood there and all of a sudden, bam, in his face. It was actually pretty funny, but Like I said, she's a better assassin than she would be a spy at this point because of her emotional detachment. But, you know, that's what she's doing. We now know that after this episode, we're back to the mission episodes, which means it's going to be really, really good. The case here is they have to infiltrate another country, but it's might as well be America because it's the United States of Mazia or something. But as you can see, that is the Empire State Building. So it's kind of a reference towards the US that they have to infiltrate. The previous team that kind of took down Inferno, it's actually been tracked to come to this part of the country. So they are going to infiltrate the country, the whole team, not just a group of them, infiltrate the country and deal with whatever the issue is and try to find information about the enemy spy team. Now, it's actually going to be pretty good because we're finally getting to the part that the theme song is really referencing, which honestly I've been waiting for this whole time. Here we are 7 episodes in and we're finally getting to the meat and bones of really this season. So I'm looking forward to this because this, as Klaus is saying, this is not going to be an easy mission. Is this going to be the mission that takes out some of the girls in this squad? Because if you saw my analysis on episode 1, I slowed down the main theme song and you could see where several of the girls were down and several were injured, still standing. So by the end of this, we might lose some members of Lamplight here, which would actually sadden me, but there's so many members, it wouldn't surprise me. And it because it's a spy show, it wouldn't surprise me. It's gonna be interesting, I can't wait. But regardless, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like I said, it was a little shorter because I've had to do this a few times, but it's okay. The whole point of everything was, it was a great episode, great file episode. Something's up with Annette, and here we are. The next few episodes are gonna be out of this world, out of the park. Amazing, because we're back on missions. You guys take care, be safe, and Lord willing, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. Phenomenon.